Good evening to everyone, to our professor, Ma'am Cecilia Calub, and to you, my dear classmates. So for the next topic, we have the connotation and denotation in creative writing. By the way, I am Aisen Percy Bulanadi from English 3.1. So before we proceed to the discussion proper, let me show you my learning objectives. So for the first one, the definition of connotation and its types, and denotation with the examples. And for the second one, the differences of connotation and denotation. And for the third one, why do writers use connotation and denotation when it comes to their writing or in creative writing? So let's start with the first learning objective, which is the connotation and denotation. So for the first one, we have the connotation. It says here that it represents what associations are made with a certain word. They are two essential methods to describe words and to use them in various ways, types of writing, especially in creative writing. So basically, connotation used to give a simple word, but it has another definition through our mental, emotional associations in our mind that makes that word into a different definition or interpretation. It can be positive connotation, neutral connotation, and negative connotation that we will be tackling later on. So it says here for the example, Susie is very blue. If we understand this sentence by its literal meaning, it would mean that Susie is literally the color blue. However, we understand this sentence by its connotative meaning, which is that Susie is sad. So basically, the highlighted connotated word here is the blue represents as a feeling or emotions, which is sad. Then let's proceed to the next slide. We have the positive connotation. So basically, we have three connotations here that is under the types of this connotated or the connotation, So we have the positive connotation. So it says here that positive connotations are associations that are good or affirmative and make one think and feel good things when reading those words. I have here the example. There are over 2,000 homeless in the city. So the word homeless is defined as having no home or permanent place or residence. So it says here that there are over 2,000 homeless in the city. So instead of using other term for the word homeless, like we cannot use in the positive connotation the word poor, vagrants, or whatsoever, we can use the word homeless to be able to show a positive and good interpretation for our subject. So basically, positive connotation, these are the words that conjure a favorable emotion response. For example, describing someone ambitious or as a go-getter, or someone who is lively and curious, as use them as the term youthful, whereas youthful implies that a person is lively and energetic. So for the next slide, we have the neutral connotation. So it says here that this is when a word says what it means with a neutral point of view and no attached positive or negative connotation. So this type of connotation, which is very common and widely used in the different situations. So the person neither develop a positive or negative connotation. So when a word expresses itself without attaching a positive or negative meaning upon using that connotated word, it is said that it is to be neutral. For instance, he is ambitious. As a statement, implies that a person works hard and strives for success regardless of whether the ambition is good or negative. So I have here the example for neutral connotation. It says here that there are over 2,000 people with no fixed address in the city. So when we say people with no fixed address, it means that they do not have a permanent address to place for their living, or they are not able to get a job interview because they have no fixed address. And for the third one, we have the negative connotation. So it says here that negative connotation is a bad feeling or emotion that people get when hearing a specific word or phrase. So in writing, in writing, you need to be very careful when using words that have negative connotations to avoid changing the meaning of word or the words that you are writing. So words with the same denotation can give people very different feelings. For the like childish and childlike have a negative connotation, so as they refer to this kind of behavior of a person. So I have here the example, there are over 2,000 vagrants in the city. The term vagrant used to describe such as the harsh word like prostitute or drunkard. So we need to be aware of what we are writing, specifically here in negative connotation. Writers often use different connotations to inject multiple layers of meaning into a word, phrase, or passage. And now let's proceed to the denotation. It says here that a word's denotation is completely absent of emotion. It is not like connotation, because connotation used to describe another meaning of a specific word based on their emotion. So it says here that a word's denotation is completely absent or not regardless of any emotion. So it is defined as a distinguished from its connotation or its associated meaning. In other words, or in the other term in the dictionary, it says here that what I mean is that the word denotation defined as a straight definition rather than its associated emotion or definition. Denotation is the literal meaning of a word or the dictionary definition. So basically, there are a big differences between denotation and connotation that we will be tackling later on. So denotation refers to the literal meaning of word according to some dictionary definition. For example, if you look up for the word, I have here the example, the word is snake. In a dictionary, you will discover that one of its denotative meaning or straight meaning is any numerous scaly, legless, sometimes venomous reptiles have a long, tapering, cylindrical body and found in most tropical and temperate regions. So that's it for the denotation. And let's proceed to the differences of connotation and denotation. So it says here that denotation is the literal meaning of a word, whereas connotation represents what associations are made with a certain word. They are two essential methods to describe words and use them in various types of writing, especially in creative writing. So as you can see here in the table, I have here the example words and their definition according to their types, which is the denotation and connotation. So for the word star, for the first item, its denotation or its straight definition is a star is a ball of light or gas in the sky. Wherein when you apply the word or the term star in the connotative definition, sometimes it can describe as a wish. And for the next one, we have family. So it's for the denotation definition of the family, it says here that group of related individuals. And for its connotation part, it can be defined as love or trust. And for the last one, for the term dog, for its denotated definition, it says here that it is a four-legged mammal. For connotation, it is a friend, protector, or pet. So let's proceed to the third learning objective that I included that we will be going to discuss tonight. So why do writers use connotation and denotation? So for the connotation, connotations are important in writing because they set the tone for whatever it is that the writer is trying to describe. So basically, when you use connotation in your writing skills, it can give a little or a more interpretation of your writings. And for the denotation, authors use denotation when they need to clearly convey the explicit meaning of a word. So that's it. So I'll be ending my report in one of the quotation of Paula Danziger. It says here that good writing is remembering detail. Most people want to forget. Don't forget things that were painful or embarrassing or silly. Turn them into a story that tells the truth. So that's it. Here are my references for my topic. So thank you guys for listening and keep safe. Bye!